My name is Amber Perez, and I'm married to my wonderful husband, Leo Perez. I am a stay-at-home wife and mom. Between the two of us, we have 4 children, and I'm very passionate about raising my children in the Lord. I was raised in Moreno Valley, and when I was 2, my parents got divorced. And then when I was 4, they remarried each other. Growing up, I did not like being an only child. My parents loved me, but they also fought a lot in front of me. So I saw anger, I saw rage in my home. My mom would take me to church. My dad did not go. As I got older, I didn't want to go to church. I was filled with anger. I just started rebelling and doing my own thing, and I was just completely disrespectful. In my early 20s, I had that pull to want to come back to Jesus, but it just wasn't enough. I was looking to the world to give me that fulfillment. I moved out and went out partying. I wanted desperately to find somebody that I ultimately was going to marry, but I was always attracted to kind of the bad boy image, and so it always ended up falling apart. And I wasn't admitting that I had an anger problem. I was justified in all my anger and my actions, according to me. So when I was 26, I was really tired of the life that I was living. I wanted God. I wanted God more than ever. So I found a church, and I was like, this is it. I'm not going back to that life anymore. But 3 months later, I got pregnant. And I got pregnant by somebody that I barely knew. It was very scary. And I remember during worship just crying. And I remember thinking, I don't know if I belong here. Another part of me felt this is exactly where I belong. I have this beautiful, amazing baby girl, and my world just changes. Like, this is not about me anymore. I just ran back into the arms of Jesus. I knew that he was the only thing that was going to light my path from now on. So Braylon's 2 at this point, and I want to get married, but I want it all to be God's way. So I start getting on Christian Mingle. Leo was the first that I talked to on the phone, that I finally went on a date with. I knew that he was the one. He had 2 boys when I met him, and I had my daughter. And so we obviously knew that we were going to blend a family, but everything was so fast. So we were just like, yeah, everything's great. You're a Christian, I'm a Christian. Let's do this. Leo and I were now a family of 6, and we started having our problems. I didn't know if it was going to last. We were recommended a counselor by Rocky Peak. I felt like every time we left there, I was the one that had to work on something. Usually that's how it is with the person that struggles with the anger. I was so focused on Leo changing. He needed to change so I could be happy. But then I realized that it was me that had to change. And at that point, I just decided to jump into anything that God was leading me to, like getting involved in church and serving. I was just working on what I can control, which is me. I was sitting in church feeling led to go out and seek a women's life group. I felt so comfortable there, and I really loved it, but there were nights where it was rough at home and I didn't want to go. Any time that I didn't want to go and I went, I was always so glad that I went. We would all pray over each other. We would be there for each other with real life needs. They poured into me. I poured into them. It was just the start of what I believe life groups give to us. My husband and I, we're in a good season. And that's really like the first thing, right? Because without healing in our marriage, I feel like the other things can't follow. The change that God has done in me, it's so freeing. I still continue to fail at times, but now it's just gotten so much better because God has gone deeper, and nothing else even compares to my passion of following the Lord. That naturally spills over into my children, into my marriage, into whoever is around me. I really believe that we go through trials and go through different things so we can be that helping tool for somebody else that's going through it. And that's why I love life groups so much. I'm just so grateful. I don't even know what my life would look like without being a part of a life group, somewhere that I could go on a weekly basis and be completely honest and real and always being pointed back to Jesus.